So are those household and small business subsidies here to stay? Can you guarantee that?
Well, they're not all ours.
The federal government ones?
Well, they're not all ours. What we're doing is rolling out the subsidy, for example, a rebate of 30%. We are rolling out, which has made a substantial difference. What we're also doing is providing support for industry plans, including the announcement that we made yesterday of the National Reconstruction Fund, $5 billion. What that is a fund to facilitate private sector investment. That is why we are putting that in place to help industry to transition, because we know that the three areas that are required are the energy sector, the electricity sector, industry, but also transport as well.
You talk about the cost of living. Can you guarantee that electricity prices will actually fall? And when can Australians expect that to happen, if it will?
Well, the modelling is out there, and you can see the modelling.
Can you guarantee that
you can see the modelling?
Just on electric vehicles, the report states that half of the light vehicles sold in the next decade will need to be electric vehicles in order to meet the lower end of that target range. What needs to be done to achieve this?
Well, there's been a doubling of the models that are out there already. And we put in place fuel standards, which is already seeing cheaper electric vehicles and greater choice for consumers. We don't have a target. We want that to be left to consumers to make their choices. But we know that consumers are voting with their wallets, and they are investing in electric vehicles. This household here has one EV and a hybrid. Why do they do that? Because it means that they don't need to fill up at the petrol pump. It saves them money. And the fact that increased numbers of vehicles are coming online, they're more efficient, they're cheaper. And if you look at what's happening in the global car market, this is happening not just in passenger vehicles, but also in things such as utilities. We're seeing great choice, as well as, of course, in heavy vehicles, buses, etc. We're seeing a change in the nature of the transport sector. The government's job is to facilitate that change. Previously, it was only Australia and Russia were the only countries in the world that didn't have any fuel standards. We fixed that.
Prime Minister, I understand the modelling says prices will fall, but the modelling is based on variables that could change. Can you guarantee that you will get the policy settings right moving forward, that prices will 100% fall for Australians? They're struggling with their bills.
Well, I can guarantee that the cheapest form of new energy is renewables. The cheapest form of new energy is renewables. The modelling is there. It's not government modelling. It's modelling that's been done by the energy market operator. And what we know is that the cheapest form of energy is renewables. We know that that's the case, which is why also the market is operating itself. Now, 24 out of 28 coal-fired power stations announced their closure under the former government. 24 out of 28. And during that time, they had 23 different energy policies announced and didn't land one. What we've done is have one policy, 43% by 2030. We have the safeguard mechanism. We have the capacity investment scheme. We have other investments and policies there to drive through, but we have a consistency. And what business are calling for is certainty. Business needs certainty in order to invest, which is why business has overwhelmingly welcomed the policy announcement that we made yesterday, and why business will be, quite frankly, surprised that the Liberal Party today has questioned whether they will have targets from opposition or from government, have changed positions from 1 hour to each other.
What will the total cost of net zero be by 2050, Prime Minister? Do you have a total figure?
I was just going to ask on another matter.
Well, it depends what figures you look for. If you look for investment for 2035, the Business Council of Australia saying that the cost will be around about $400 to $500 billion. If you ask for what our policy is, yesterday we announced an additional $8.3 billion of investment, meaning our total investment is $75 billion.
The Prime Minister, Prime Minister, the Victorian Premier, is over in China right now. Do you think she's doing a good job representing Australia?
Well, it's our major trading partner. Probably a good idea that we talk to our major trading partner because it's about Australian jobs. And I'm sure the Premier is there as the Victorian Premier talking about jobs here in Victoria that are pretty important. Thanks very much.
Prime Minister, so just back on electricity prices, just to clarify, Treasury and Climate Change Authority are assuming electricity prices will fall under the 2035 target. Given you've accepted this advice, do you agree that electricity prices will fall?
Well, the analysis is there from them. What I certainly know is that renewables are the cheapest form of new energy, which is why, in spite of all of the rhetoric of the coalition when they were in government, 24 out of 28 coal-fired power stations announced their closure dates. They didn't start one new coal-fired power station, and they certainly didn't build any nuclear power plants or start any during that time. The truth is that the investment that we have in our plan, which is for renewables, backed by gas, backed by storage, is the way forward for Australia. That's the way that we ensure we maximise economic growth, we maximise jobs, we maximise wages, we protect living standards and we protect our national economy. Thanks very much.